Yeah, salute to everybody out there. We are in the building, live and direct. You better know, everybody gather around. And my style's laid down by the underground. A lot going on today, man. We'll get into it, right?
Thank you so much for watching on this Monday. I'm George Estevez.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Linda Stouffer. New at 6, it took a decade. The friends and family of a local actress and model finally got a guilty verdict in a kidnapping case after county prosecutors ran into problems. Channel 2 investigative reporter Mark Winnie is live in the newsroom. Mark, the case was further complicated because the victim is now dead.
That's right. And the top federal prosecutor here, Theodore Hertzberg, says the FBI and his office were able to step in when a local prosecution ran into problems. And now, a decade after a brutal kidnapping, there's a guilty verdict, and sentencing has been scheduled for July.
We intend to seek a life sentence in this case.
It's just been something that's been hanging over our heads and our hearts since it occurred.
We will not stop. We will not give up.
And wanting to get this moment of justice.
The escape was caught on surveillance footage, and you can see the victim jumping out of his car. The jury was able to see the victim actually hopping into the stranger's car where she sought safety, and then that stranger called 911.
Are you appealing?
100% guaranteed.
Sabre says when the verdict came down, a decade almost to the day had passed since the kidnapping of Jokisha Brown, her close friend, like family, for most of the adult life of Ms. Brown, an actress, model, mother, and more.
She was full of life, so kind, so caring.
A decade that included a dismissal of kidnap and rape charges against Ms. Brown's boyfriend, Alfredo Capote, in Gwinnett County Court. But Sabre was in federal court with family and friends for the federal trial that produced a guilty verdict against Capote on a federal kidnapping charge this month.
I was relieved. There was still sadness. There was still anger.
U.S. Attorney Theodore Hertzberg says Capote was on pretrial release for a federal fraud charge at the time of the crime in 2016.
He was alleged to have kidnapped his girlfriend, Jokisha Brown, to have sexually assaulted her, and to have taken her from Gwinnett County to Cobb County, and then finally to Perry, Georgia, where she was able to escape.
Hertzberg says the FBI opened a federal case in 2022 after learning of possible problems in Capote's Gwinnett County prosecution because of a missed deadline. FBI Assistant Special Agent in charge, Richard Bilson.
The Gwinnett County Police Department had conducted a thorough investigation.
You say he's innocent.
I do.
Defense attorney Bruce Harvey says he fought for 3 years to prove Gwinnett County prosecutors failed to meet a crucial speedy trial type deadline, leading to the dismissal of Capote's Gwinnett kidnapping and rape charges. And now he indicated he'll appeal the federal case for several things, including the use of statements by Ms. Brown, who was shot to death months after the kidnapping. He says no one has been charged in
What? So she was shot to death months after the kidnapping, probably by that nigga.
The use of statements by Ms. Brown, who was shot to death months after the kidnapping. He says no one has been charged and Capote had nothing to do with it.
The only evidence that would be able to be tested in the crucible of cross-examination and being able to confront one's accusers comes from someone who was not available to cross-examine.
Assistant U.S. Attorney Lauren Renaud says the judge rejected defense efforts to keep out Ms. Brown's words. And a statement on behalf of Gwinnett District Attorney Patsy Austin Gatson said in part, "We never gave up fighting for the victim's family." It expressed gladness toward the U.S. Attorney's Office and gratitude to local, state, and federal law enforcement. FBI Atlanta says anyone with information on the unsolved homicide should contact Atlanta Police or the FBI by phone or online at tips.fbi.gov. Reporting live in the newsroom, Mark Winnie, Channel 2 Action News.
Prosecutors charge an Okachi woman with homicide after investigators say she stabbed her boyfriend because of a chicken dinner.
Waukesha County reporter Brett Lemoyne joining us live with the emotional plea from the victim's father. Brett?
Yeah, Ted and Mary, Lac La Belle police say 27-year-old Michaela Cloth got a hold of a knife and stabbed her boyfriend through the heart. This all happened on Friday night in Okachi, which is an unincorporated area in the village of Lac La Belle. When investigators arrived, they found a man flat on his back. They asked Cloth why she did it. Cloth said she did it because she wanted to go out to eat that night, and her boyfriend had come over to her apartment to cook chicken drumsticks instead. When
she wanted to go out to eat, but her boyfriend came over and cooked chicken drumsticks. Yeah, I do like wings. If he brought wings, he'd still be alive, man. I like thighs and wings, man. But yeah, he fucked up with them drumsticks. Drumsticks is like for kids, man. You feed that shit to your kids. Nigga, bring over some drums, bring over some wings or some thighs, nigga, and you'll still be here. He killed himself, man. That nigga killed himself.
When investigators arrived, they found a man flat on his back. They asked Cloth why she did it. Cloth said she did it because she wanted to go out to eat that night, and her boyfriend had come over to her apartment to cook chicken drumsticks instead. When asked if there was a struggle, Cloth told police, quote, "No, I did stab him," end quote. Cloth says her boyfriend grabbed a knife on the blade side, and she got angry and she pushed the knife into his chest. The victim's father spoke in court Monday. He asked we not name him or his 25-year-old son.
Please never let that monster walk the streets ever again.
She admits saying, "I stabbed him. If you have to take me to jail, okay." She didn't hesitate with the discussion with the officers.
Now, a week before this incident, the victim told someone that Cloth, quote, bit his thumb and that he was afraid for his safety. Today, a court commissioner set Cloth's cash bond at $2 million. Reporting live in Waukesha, Brett Lemoyne, Fox 6 News.
Brett, thank you.
Two 14-year-old boys arrested in connection with the fatal shooting of a 15-year-old will spend at least the next 2 days in juvenile detention.
The boys haven't been officially charged yet, but today they appeared in court. Fox 6's Bria Jones in the newsroom tonight with what prosecutors believed happened. Bria?
Good evening. Ted, Mary in court, the defense attorney for the teens revealed that the victim is one of the brothers of one of his clients. So prosecutors say the teens were sitting in a car either playing with or passing around a firearm when that 15-year-old was killed. They say now both suspects are now pointing the finger at each other. Now, this shooting happened Friday evening near Bel Air Phillips in West Chambers. Today, a court commissioner granted the state's request for additional time to make a charging decision, giving them 48 hours. Now, prosecutors say the teens were under the influence of a controlled substance in the car when at some point they started passing around a firearm and the gun went off. Now, both teens allegedly say the other pulled the trigger. Their attorney arguing they aren't a threat to the community, while the prosecution says they put others in imminent risk.
The tragedy of this case demonstrates in part some of the error in the state's reasoning. My client is 14 years old. The victim is his 15-year-old brother.
Both accountings of events cannot be true, and both co-actors have indicated that the other person is the person who fired the firearm in this vehicle.
Both teens are due back in court on Wednesday. We'll let you know if charges are filed. Ted?
The newsroom, thank you. A Milwaukee landlord charged in a sprawling drug investigation will remain in jail pending trial. Federal prosecutors say Milwaukee landlord Sam Stair and his company rented properties to drug dealers in exchange for kickbacks. As the case moves forward in federal court, tenant rights advocates say renters need to keep paying their rent to avoid eviction.
If a tenant has questions about who they should be paying their rent to, I strongly encourage them to reach out to legal aid or some other tenants advocates to look into it, because each property is potentially different.
hit the like button for me. Sponsor today's programming. Shout out to all you guys out there. Hit that like button. Sponsor today's programming. We got great shows tonight, man. I don't know where this show's gonna go. I'm not even gonna lie, man. I don't know where this show's gonna go. This show gonna go where y'all wanted to go, man. What do y'all want me to talk about tonight, man? I'm gonna give y'all the floor, man. What do y'all want me to talk about tonight, man? Is there anything that you guys want to go over? I'll allow you guys. I don't really have a necessarily plan for this show right now. Rappers are monkey flipping with the funky rhythm. I be kicking, musician, the flicking composition. Pain, I'm like Scarface, sniffing cocaine, give me the M16, holding the 9, I'm saying. Full of holes, through my peepholes, running up the street clothes. Give me a 9 and I defeat foes. Jeez. Anybody? You said Richmond, London? Richmond, London. Richmond, London. Where London slows down. Where London slows down. I'm on the walk through Richmond. Charming Richmond. What is it about Richmond, London? What is Richmond, London? You got gangs crashing out. The gangs. Richmond, London. Holy shit.
From the outside in, London looks like a rich city with many different tourist attractions, like the Buckingham Palace, the Tower of London, and the Shard, to name a few, resulting in London being one of the most popular destinations for tourism. What a lot of people don't know about are the large street gangs that control the drug trade in each borough, with a lot of these gangs being responsible for postcode murders, kidnappings, and tit-for-tat incidents happening between opposition gangs. The large gang presence in each borough results in London being named as one of the most dangerous cities in the world, due to its high crime rate. In this video, I'm going to highlight some of London's most dangerous gangs. These gangs control the local drug trade and handle rivalries with many opposition gangs throughout London. Molly Strip are a large street gang based around Leighton, which is based within the Waltham Forest borough of East London. The gang is split into two different sets, one being named El Tizzy and the other being named SJ. El Tizzy controls the E10 postcode and SJ controls the E17 postcode. The olders of Molly Strip are predominantly Somali, but the younger generation of Molly Strip are a wide range of ethnicities. Molly Strip don't focus on local postcode rivalries much, but instead the local drug trade, with it being said Molly Strip make up to £50,000 a week from drugs. drugs. Although Molly Strip are more focused on making money, they still have beef with surrounding gangs like Priory Court, LGR, and Chinghall over drugs. These rivalries have gotten very deadly, with it confirmed Molly Strip are responsible for over 5 deaths linked to the beefs. Molly Strip has been named London's most dangerous gang by the media, making them a feared gang in the borough and in surrounding boroughs due to their violent reputation. Molly Strip have many different rappers, like Rhonda Montana, Riddler, and Baby Maine. These rappers have been very active in the drill scene, with their songs going viral on YouTube, getting millions of views. Peckham Boys are one of the...
Yo, Jesus Christ. Holy shit, man. Whew. You can't, yeah, man. Niggas brought that shit over there, man. Drill music. You niggas are awful, man. A group of teenagers spraying water guns at pedestrians, with elderly women being targeted.
You too, man. This country. You too, man. No one's scared of you. Girl. You don't understand it. I understand that you are going to play spraying people, bro. We're not spraying people. Who's we? Who's spraying? Your friend's got a water gun in his hand.
You are. I put it on camera.
Bro, you're going to terrorize the old people, bro. You don't understand it. I understand that you are going to play spraying people, bro. We're not spraying people. Who's we?
That's London, Richmond. Jeez, I don't know what's going on there. I'm not, I don't know. I don't know what the hell's going on. Yeah, man. He said we was British and shit. Yeah, man. We was British and shit. What is the all right? We was British and shit, y'all.
We begin tonight with a story you will only see here on 12 News. New details tonight about the brutal murder of Lena Brown Bradley, her youngest son accused of killing her. But it's what investigators found after searching for the retired educator that is so shocking. Adams County Sheriff Travis Patton sat down with me one-on-one. We must warn you that some of the details from the crime are graphic. Out as a welfare check on Melanie Road in Natchez on April 4th has shaken this historic city on the river.
That night, I felt like changed every last one of us.
Longtime and respected member of the Adams County community and retired educator, Lena Brown Bradley, was dead. But that's not all. It's the way she died.
This was one of those cases that you will never, ever forget in your life. This is the type of case that follows you home.
Deputies were called to this home after her oldest son couldn't reach his mother the previous day. Two of her other sons lived in the house with her. Her middle son had been working.
As soon as they walked in the house, they could just see where somebody had been cleaning up at it, and they could smell chemicals all throughout the house. Floor was extremely slippery, and the oldest son said that this is just unusual for the youngest son to be cleaning up the house like that.
The youngest son, Zachary Jackson Jr., was found locked in a downstairs bathroom where deputies could hear water slashing.
And the fact that when he opened that bathroom, deputies could see a black substance in the toilet that wasn't described as anything that would come, from your body in that way. They were disturbed at what they were seeing.
So the sheriff ordered a full search of the area. The property sat on about 2 acres of land and was surrounded by heavily wooded areas with a bayou and creeks. So they called for help from the Mississippi Bureau of Investigations. Time was not on their side as storms were coming and evidence could be lost.
Family members went to the left. My deputies went right. Next thing you know, as both my deputies and the family were trekking through this wooded area, the deputies heard a scream. They heard someone yelling, "It's a head. It's a head." And of course, everything changed at that point. It was like they were frozen in time because nobody could believe what they were hearing.
They also found a suitcase, but their biggest find would be inside the house after the sheriff called in a plumber to remove the toilet.
I can say what was in the toilet, and it was her flesh. He chopped her up in pieces. He dismembered her in a way where he knew that whoever came looking for her were going to have to do their due diligence, and they were going to have to go above and beyond to find her. And that's what we did. Mm-hmm. We found her. We found where he started to dispose of her at, and we had to get excavators out to get the rest of her.
So he spread her body parts over the property?
No. He had body parts in the suitcase, and then he flushed the rest down the toilet. He took his time and he dismembered her in a way where he can discard the pieces down the toilet.
So they were small pieces?
There were a lot. And I'm not trying to sensationalize what he did, but that's just what he did.
What happened at this home has left many in this community wondering what went so wrong.
He had threatened her the day before because she was looking to have him evicted from the home. So she was in the process of doing it and had just went to the court the day before to have him removed from the home.
29-year-old Zachary Lavelle Jackson Jr. is charged with first and second-degree murder, mayhem, and tampering with physical evidence. He remains in jail without bond. His next court date is tomorrow. Now, Sheriff Patton wanted to emphasize to us that despite the family for many years questioning the son's mental health, a family and friends can only do so much if a grown adult does not want to seek help. Tomorrow night at 6 and 10, we look at the challenge facing the family, the possible mindset of the suspect at the time of the murder, and how the impact on this heinous crime has had on law enforcement and the community.
New information in 2 missing teens found shot to death. Tonight, 2 teenagers are facing capital murder charges in that deadly shooting. 16 WAPT's Ross Adams is joining us live from the Hinds County Sheriff's Office with the latest on this tonight. Ross.
The two teenage suspects were taken into custody this week, more than 3.5 weeks after the two younger teenage victims were found shot to death in rural Hinds County. In Hinds County, 4 teenagers between the ages of 16 and 19 caught up in violence, which left 2 dead and 2 other teens now facing capital murder charges.
And this damn. Yeah, these are the big boys, man. These dudes didn't look like they should have been hanging around. And listen, that's how it is, you know. I mean, these young boys probably weren't innocent either. Those young boys probably weren't innocent either.
After the 2 younger teenage victims were found shot to death in rural Hinds County. In Hinds County, 4 teenagers between the ages of 16 and 19 caught up in violence.
Yeah. And listen, these kids, regardless of age really, doesn't mean much. You know what I mean? When you got a Draco and you got a AR-15 or a Glock with a switchy on it, age doesn't mean much. But it looked like these kids, these look like babies, and the dudes who killed them look like men.
Which left 2 dead and 2 other teens now facing capital murder charges.
And this is something that we stress. We talk about youth violence, youth with guns, being reckless, irresponsible with guns.
Hinds County Sheriff Tyree Jones says Wednesday, investigators arrested 19-year-old Bruce White and 16-year-old Ezra White. They are not related to each other, but they've both been charged with capital murder in the shooting deaths of Terry Burrell and Chloe Hudson. The 2 16-year-old students from Lanier Junior and Senior High School were found shot to death March 30th along the side of Springdale Road in the Pocahontas community, less than 10 miles outside the city limits of Jackson.
Days after the incident occurred, the Jackson Police Department was able to provide us with very key details and information.
The sheriff praising JPD for its work helping to identify and track down the suspected shooters. Authorities believe Burrell and Hudson knew the suspects, and they believe they were targeted as 4 families now are ripped apart by gun violence.
2 families have lost a 16-year-old each, and now you're having families facing an 18-year-old and a 19-year-old being allegedly involved. Again, they are presumed innocent.
The sheriff tells us this is very much still an active investigation. Additional arrests and charges could be forthcoming. For now, we're live at the Hinds County Sheriff's Office. Ross Adams, 16 WAPT News.
So Alfonso Talley refused to answer any of the judge's question, and he didn't even want to say his name when the judge was asking him that question. And we also found out that his own lawyer wasn't able to speak with him prior to court. So that's why this case is now continued for this week on Thursday. But we have some new video in from one of our viewers that shows Chicago police officers arresting Talley on Saturday. That was around Lincoln Square. And we found out today in court, Talley and someone else is accused of going to a Family Dollar that Saturday morning, and Talley is accused of pistol whipping a 55-year-old female employee, stealing her money and keys. But we found out in court this morning, and Talley is accused of pistol whipping a 55-year-old female employee, stealing her money and keys. But we found out in court that the money had GPS on it. Officers found it and arrested him. Now, they also said he allegedly told officers he swallowed some drugs, which ended up bringing them to Swedish Hospital. And they said in court today that it was somewhere in the CT room where an officer uncuffed him. Talley was naked but had a blanket covering him, and then pulled out a gun and shot both Officer Bartholomew in the head and then the other officer in the face, who is now in critical condition in the hospital. We heard from so many people saying that he's fighting for his life. And many elected officials were here and the Chicago FOP during this hearing. And not only do they say that this tragedy could have been avoided, but they criticized judges today, as they put it, for allowing violent offenders to be released.
Without pressure from the media, nothing changes. It just doesn't. They literally go hide in a corner and continue on with their nonsense of trying to let criminals out on the street any way, shape, or form they can and excuse bad behavior. It needs to stop.
Ask these officers to go back on the street and keep fighting crime when the judges keep letting them out. And they have to show up to every situation thinking it's going to be their last. This is, it should end right now.
You can see how many people were emotional about this. So Talley is actually going to be back in court tomorrow. This is for a separate case where he's accused of violating the conditions of his release. There was a lot of criticism over electronic monitoring, which Talley was under at this one point. So certainly this is a case that we're going to be following, including tomorrow here in court.
Brett, question for you. Did they mention in court how Talley was able to get a gun after he got arrested?
That is the one question that we still haven't heard about today. And since because this case has now been continued to Thursday, they haven't gotten into the specifics about that. But that is certainly a big question about how he was able to get a gun in the hospital.
Brett, I know they also criticize one judge in particular for, as they put it, letting Talley off easy. This judge is John Like. I understand you reached out to him as well. What did he have to say?
I certainly did. We wanted to give him an opportunity to tell his side of the story, since he's a judge who has presided over at least one other criminal case involving Alfonso Talley. And he's going to be the judge presiding over the case tomorrow about the Talley violating the conditions of his release. So we are still waiting to hear back from them. But certainly this is one of those things where I was talking to elected officials and I asked them, had you ever reached out to some of these judges or even criticizing state lawmakers over the Safety Act? That's another thing that they said they want to consider and they want to do. But so far they have not had any of those meetings of why there's a difference in opinion on how they're proceeding on some of these criminal cases.
All right, Brett Briganti, thank you. We'll check back in with you for the news at 5. And a woman from Hammond is facing charges for this shooting as well. Prosecutors say Olivia Burgos lied in 2024 to get Talley the gun used this weekend. The two were dating then. She told them she bought the gun for him because she believed he couldn't legally buy it himself. She's also accused of lying about drug use and her address when she was buying the gun.
Wow.
Okay, another controversial car meetup turning deadly in Maryland. One person shot to death, identified as a 24-year-old man from Falls Church. Police telling Fox 5's Bob Barnard the people there this morning, including a 16-year-old girl, were mostly from Northern Virginia.
That is right. That's what Howard County police are saying. The gunfire erupting around 5:30 this morning here on the ground floor of this 3-story parking garage in this Columbia, Maryland office complex. One person was shot and killed, 6 others wounded by the gunfire. Howard County police say there were multiple shooters, but not one weapon was recovered on the scene. This happened during what police are calling a car meetup, not a takeover. Investigators not sure what sparked the violence. Police believe the people gathering with their cars here, 40 to 50 in total, were mostly from Virginia. You can see a Virginia tag on one of the cars still here at the scene. This is the 6700 block of Alexander Bell Drive in Columbia. Victims, we're told, were walking into hospitals across the region.
So at this point, we know that we've had multiple people walk into Maryland, different Maryland hospitals, as well as now one in Virginia. All of them have received non-life-threatening injuries except one, who we've now learned is in critical condition. Everyone involved in this that we know of right now, until a few minutes ago, were all known to be adults in their late teens and early 20s. However, we have just learned that our most recent victim who walked into a hospital in Virginia is described as a juvenile female.
We've been telling you for years about these car meetups and takeovers, which can get out of control and turn deadly, either by accident or willfully with shots being fired. Maryland has a car rally task force with many jurisdictions working together to try to prevent these from happening. Maybe a step or two behind the Commonwealth of Virginia.
The laws in Virginia have made it more challenging for these events, fortunately for people who live in Virginia, and we're working to do the same here in Maryland. But it sounds like some of the groups that do these kinds of car rallies have been pushed out outside of Virginia, and that's why we're starting to see them here.
One of those victims remains in critical condition. We're told the youngest of them, the girl who was shot and wounded here, went to a hospital in Fairfax County.
Armed carjacking in parking garage.
Baltimore County Police say they are continuing their investigating into an armed carjacking inside the Towson Town Center parking garage.
It happened Saturday and still no arrests so far. Fox 45's Ashley Kuzakonki is live at Towson Town Center. So Ashley, what can you tell us about what happened and the investigation?
Mary and Kai, good evening. Baltimore County Police say that armed carjacking happened in this parking garage here behind us. Police also saying that they do know who the suspects are, but when I checked in with them just a few hours ago, I asked about arrests, and all they said was this is an active and ongoing investigation.
This is unacceptable and outrageous, but another indication of where we are headed, not just at the mall, but I think in Towson generally.
Baltimore County Police say at 3:30 Saturday afternoon in the Towson Town Center parking garage.
Found for carjacking, just occurred with firearms involved.
A victim reported two known individuals pointed weapons at him while he was walking to his car and then took his vehicle.
Looks like those cars often may see someone carjack a caller. They had two firearms. Looking for a silver Mercedes-Benz C300 sedan. Looks like there was two black box 9s involved. They went towards the city on the Valley.
Baltimore County Police say they have identified the suspects and are working to obtain warrants for their arrests.
It's definitely scary. It makes me second guess going to the mall, especially on the weekends, warmer weather.
Towson is done.
Robert Walls of Detroit says a casual day of shopping here quickly turned violent, and it didn't have to. He says he was simply shopping for a paint roller at this Detroit Home Depot, but it turned into this.
At this point, now I'm in fear for my life.
58-year-old disabled Army veteran Robert Walls grabbing a motorized scooter Wednesday morning.
At that point, it just started telling me that they were going to slap me in my bald head, that, we'll kill your cripple blank up in here.
He says the three men, an adult and two teens, began yelling out gang-related messages, following him around the store on 7 Mile and Myers, continuing to threaten him.
The one gentleman started growling like an animal and reaching in his shirt.
Did you think he had a weapon?
Yes, I did.
Walls says he tried to get away from the trio and asked a Home Depot employee for help.
I said, can you please call 911? And he looked at me and turned around and walked away.
But that's when things escalated, Walls says, trying to get to the front of the store, grabbing a pipe.
And I yelled out, leave me the hell alone. Stop messing with me. And the older gentleman told them two boys, y'all kill him.
A Detroit police officer working security trying to intervene. Walls says he was tased while being beaten.
She steady coming here trying to put handcuffs on me while they're beating me.
But while Detroit police say the officer did pull out her taser, they say it never discharged. That officer is still recovering Friday from minor injuries herself, adding that the use of force incident will be investigated, but defending her
female
actions.
Cop. Oh, it was a female cop. Oh my God.
As for those three
The dudes didn't respect her. They kept fighting.
men, Local 4 is told they had been harassing customers at this nearby car wash just before.
I asked them if they need help, but they went crazy.
Police say charges have been submitted to the prosecutor's office for two of the three men. The third is pending.
Now, we also reached out to Home Depot for
Listen,
comments.
man.
You can read more from them at clickondetroit.com.
Listen,
There, you'll also
man. Let
find a
me
link.
tell you guys something, man. Let me tell you guys something. Right here, this right here. This right here. This right here. Keep this on you, man. Keep this on you. Keep this on you, bro. Okay? This right here, no matter what kind of attitude somebody got. I mean, I got these too, but you know, these that's a little bit, you know, that's another story. But this right here, it's the size of, it's like, this is probably the size of those what are those things, those energy drinks, those little 5-hour things, whatever. This isn't even a Red Bull. This is smaller than a Red Bull. This is like yeah, those little energy drinks, those little small energy drink. It's like the size of that. You won't even know it's in your pocket, man. You won't even know this is in your pocket. Like it's as long as my finger. This right here, you pop them in the eyes with this, and they got a safety on it too. They got a safety on it, so you don't, so you won't depress the trigger. So you have to put your finger under here to depress the trigger. Man, this stuff right here, I be trying to tell y'all people, man. Keep some mace on you for situations like that. Just for situations like that. Just for situations like that, man. This brand right here is Fox Labs. Fox Labs. $1.4. This is law enforcement strength. Fox Labs. Listen, I carry that shit with me. I don't even know it's in my pocket. It's so small. You just, you know what I mean? Yeah. Listen. That situation right there that hopped up on that man, you never think that's gonna happen to you. You're going to get a goddamn paint roller and shit.
An elderly Hollywood heiress is recovering tonight after a violent home invasion robbery.
The victim was strangled and attacked by a group of masked robbers inside her Hollywood Hills home. Mary Beth McDade live in Hollywood with more on the victim and the suspects who are on the run tonight. Mary Beth.
Yes, Mike and Cher, we are learning much more about who the victim is in this and what she's had to endure over the past year. First, her husband was found inside his burning home, and now she suffered a brutal beating during a violent robbery. Some terrifying moments for an elderly Hollywood Hills woman as several masked men break into her Lookout Mountain Avenue home Thursday evening. Neighbors have reportedly identified her as Margot Merkin, an heiress to the budget rental car fortune.
Wow.
One neighbor describes how the men brutally assaulted and choked her.
And they showed up and they hit her in the face, they hit her in the head, they strangled her, and The horrifying reality is that she reported to patrol and to her neighbors that they said, is today the day you want to die?
Kristen Stavala tells us the break-in occurred around 7:30 p.m. and lasted about 30 minutes. We're told some astute neighbors happened to notice masked men roaming Merkin's property and ran to help her.
And it was because of the neighbors who saw the suspicious activity where they saw what they thought were people running up and down a hillside. They got out there and started flashing flashlights on them while the wife called 911.
The suspects apparently fled in this white Honda Accord, and detectives believe with a large amount of cash and jewelry. Stavola thinks Merkin was targeted.
This isn't a situation where they knew, they didn't go up to the main door and try to get in the gate. They knew how to get up the hillside and found another entry into the house.
A year and a half ago, Merkin lost her husband, 87-year-old William de Rothschild. He was found dead in his burning home, which is just a few doors down from Merkin's house. And police are still searching for these violent suspects tonight. And so police are urging, if you know anything about the suspects or this incident, to give them a call. For now, reporting live here in Hollywood, Mary Beth McDade. We'll send back to you guys in the studio.
Wow. Salute to everybody, man, out there, man. Hit the like button. Who's going to be the first one to sponsor the show tonight? Who's going to be the first one to get on the board tonight to sponsor the show?
Stop! Stop the car! Stop the car! Stop the car! I will shoot you!
A California police officer kidnapped. His body cam capturing his wild confrontation with a speeding driver who refuses to stop.
Kill us, bro! You're gonna kill us, bro! Give me a stop! Hey, stop the car! Stop the car! Stop it!
But that fleeing driver refuses to stop. It all began a few minutes earlier with an alarm at a grocery store. A crew of thieves caught on surveillance camera backing an SUV into the store's front doors and shattering the glass. Two people then running inside. Just minutes later, Antioch police officers arrive and try to block that SUV from escaping. One of the officers opens the passenger side door, confronting the driver. That driver hits reverse, knocking the officer inside the SUV. That's when the driver puts it in drive and hits the gas, making his escape with that Antioch police officer in his passenger seat. This is dash cam video from the police car that was hit and shoved out of the way.
Get out! Get out! Get out!
Back inside that fleeing SUV, the officer now threatening to shoot the driver if he won't stop.
I'm warning you, I will shoot your leg! I'm about to get out. Stop! Stop the car! Stop the car! No! Stop! I will shoot you!
Moments later, the driver hits a parked car and jumps out of the SUV, taking off on foot.
Z5, shots fired.
That officer finally able to get out of the vehicle, and he begins searching for the wounded driver in a local neighborhood. More officers quickly swarming the scene and finding the driver's hiding place.
Okay, that was the first time. That was a first. He actually shot him in the leg. He actually shot the guy in the leg. This is the first time we've ever seen that, I think. Have you guys ever seen that?
Leg! Stop!
If he won't stop.
I'm warning you, I will shoot your leg! Stop! Stop the car! Stop the car! No! Stop! I will shoot you!
Moments later, the driver hits a parked car and jumps out of the SUV, taking off on foot.
Z5, shots fired.
That officer finally able to get out of the vehicle, and he begins searching for the wounded driver in a local neighborhood. More officers quickly swarming the scene and finding the driver's hiding place in some bushes and taking him into custody.
Yo, hands up! Keep your hands up! Do not move them until I tell you to! Do not move them until I tell you to!
There at the end, you heard the driver screaming, he shot me," as he was being arrested. Paramedics taking that driver, identified as 23-year-old Dominic D'Souza, to a local hospital for treatment of a bullet wound to the leg. He's now facing charges of kidnapping, robbery, grand theft, and assault with a deadly weapon on a peace officer. Multiple investigations now launched to determine whether Antioch Police Department policies and procedures were followed.
Oh, man. Wow. Salute to everybody, man. Hit that like button, man. Continue to support the channel. Insanity, man. We gonna keep it pushing, man.
A family says their brother was trying to protect his sister when he was shot and killed in Tarrant County.
Everman police say it happened early Wednesday morning. They responded to a call about a man shot multiple times. Family says the victim is Seth Tony Tatum. Police arrested the suspected gunman a few blocks away, and he's now charged with murder.
Jesus Christ. Fucking A, man. You like a white boy or a white boy who had braids. That nigga showed you who the real nigga is. Who the actual nigga is.
And shot multiple times. Family says the victim is Seth Tony Tatum. Police arrested the suspected gunman a few blocks away, and he's now charged with murder. Fox 4's Amelia Jones spoke to family members. Amelia.
Steve, James Tatum III told me his older brother was the best kind of man, a hero, a protector, who gave his life to keep his sister safe.
It was really such a tragic, set of events.
James Tatum III says Wednesday morning his older sister's ex-boyfriend showed up at the family's Everman home with a gun. His older brother, Seth Tatum, and his older sister were outside leaving for work.
He's in the street and he's yelling things at her, and so she walks back towards the house. She calls the cops.
James says the yelling woke everyone up and they came outside to Georgetown Drive to see Seth and Elijah Mitchell in the street.
He's just like, hey, bro, just leave. We're trying to go to work. It's early in the morning. It's 6 in the morning. And he's just still yelling at her.
Shortly after this.
And that's when you just see the gunfire. It's so loud. I can still see the flashes of light.
The 911 dispatcher heard the gunshots over the phone because his sister was still on the line. Mitchell ran from the scene. And James ran over to help his brother while first responders arrived.
I was holding his head as I was telling him to breathe. I kissed him on his forehead and I said, I love you, Seth, I love you.
Seth was pronounced dead at a hospital.
Dang.
Everman police found Mitchell several blocks away and took him into custody. They also found the discarded gun.
We treated him like family. We thought he was family, and that's what makes it hurt the most, is that it's worse than betrayal. It's really like an abomination.
Seth was about to become a dad.
That's gut-wrenching to know that he doesn't even get to meet his own daughter.
But James intends to make sure Seth's daughter...
Damn. So this is the family? What are they? Are they Hispanic? Yeah, they look like they're Hispanic. What country, though? Mexico? Damn.
Knows who he is.
And he was honestly the best big brother anybody could have. He was...
Nigga came over there. The nigga boyfriend came over there wilding out. Killed his girlfriend's brother. His estranged, obviously, girlfriend's brother. What a crash out, man. Are we talking about a serious crash out? We talking about a whole crash out. Wow, brother. Wow, brother.
A provider, a protector, a hero.
The family has set up an online fundraiser to help Seth's daughter. It's already raised more than $1,200. Mitchell was booked into the Tarrant County Jail and is charged with murder. Steve, Heather.
All right, that's Amelia Jones reporting. Amelia, thanks.
Oh man. I tell you, man. Let's see if we can get whew. Listen. Yeah, man. Let's see, man. Whew. Salute to everybody out there. We got a lot. We're gonna keep it pushing, man. Keep it pushing. We're gonna keep it pushing. We're gonna keep it pushing, man. Let's see this, man.
A school bus driver in Grapevine, Colleyville ISD has been fired and is now in police custody, charged with shooting his neighbor. Eyewitnesses captured dramatic video of the takedown as officers made the arrest yesterday afternoon. As a precaution nearby, schools went into secure status. Fox 4's Alex Boyer is live with the details. Alex.
Yeah, the district ended up putting 6 of its campuses on lockdown as a precaution, unaware that a shooting in a nearby neighborhood actually involved one of their off-duty bus drivers. And as you mentioned, a neighbor was recording as the suspect was taken into custody by police. Take a look. Now, the man you see there is the bus driver that we're talking about, identified as 64-year-old Shinkoru Sleshi Makeda. Now, he surrendered to police after allegedly shooting his next door neighbor. This happened around 1 p.m. Thursday. In the video, you see him walking from the front of his home towards the officers who are giving him commands to get on the ground. He appears to comply. You see him then get on his stomach. Now, where he's at right now is the front yard of the neighbor's home that he's accused of shooting. A group of officers you see swarm in and handcuff him. Another group of officers keep watch as that scene is secured. I talked to a neighbor who witnessed the takedown. She asked that we not use her name. A little jarring to see that on the street?
Yeah, absolutely. And I have a friend who lives on the street. So when I saw the police cars come, I immediately texted her and just said, what's going on your street? I saw the takedown, the gentleman that was arrested. Yeah. I saw him walk out of his home with hands up and then kind of hit the deck. Yeah.
What did you think when you watched that unfold?
I didn't know what had precipitated it at that point. So I just saw the police cars and guns drawn. So I assumed it was something violent.
Violent indeed, as I mentioned. Grapevine Colleyville ISD had put 6 of its campuses on lockdown as a precaution. In a letter sent to parents, the district said that police later notified them that the suspect of the shooting was Makeda, the driver of bus 365 in the district. Again, the district immediately terminated Makeda based on the activity surrounding his arrest. I talked to a district parent who lives in that area. Can you tell me about the alert that you got, I guess, since you live in the area?
Well, I got it from the
She said everything was normal, and then all of a sudden he just snapped and just started attacking her with a screwdriver.
New at 10, a Cherokee County woman has been in and out of the hospital after a violent attack. Thanks for joining us tonight at 10. I'm Courtney Bryant.
And I'm Russ Spencer. She's a house cleaner, and when she showed up at the home of a new client, police say the man assaulted her. Fox 5's Denise Dillon is live in Cherokee County tonight. Denise, she has a long road of recovery ahead of her.
Friends say she is struggling physically and emotionally. This was a very violent attack, and no one knows when she'll be able to get back to work and get back to taking care of her family.
She said she prayed her way through it silently.
Kristen Boyd's friend Tara, and we're only going to use her first name, was brutally attacked in an apartment at this complex in Canton. Boyd says earlier this month, Tara, who is a house cleaner, showed up to do a walkthrough for a potential new client.
She said everything was normal, and then all of a sudden he just snapped and just started attacking her with a screwdriver.
Police say she was violently assaulted and held captive for hours. Tara was stabbed in the head, neck, chest, and eye. Eventually, Tara convinced the man to let her go to the hospital by promising she would tell doctors she fell while cleaning.
She was able to go to the hospital, but he made her drive with head injuries and bleeding.
Once at the hospital, Tara told the medical staff what really happened. Canton police showed up and arrested 23-year-old Ezekiel Jackson, who was at the hospital waiting for her to be released. Jackson is charged with 3 counts of rape, aggravated battery.
Yo, it's always them. It's always, and I mean 100% of the time is them. Jesus Christ. Holy hell. It's always them.
False imprisonment and aggravated assault.
Tara's had to go back to the hospital quite a few times, mostly due to her head trauma.
Boyd says Tara is a devoted mom of 4 who works hard to support her family. Right now, she can't work or take care of her children, and the medical bills are piling up. Boyd started a GoFundMe for her and hopes it will help financially, but says Tara will also need a long time to heal emotionally.
She's a survivor, so I know she's going to be okay, but it's like, how can we help her get there?
And community members who don't even know Tara are pitching in. One woman who's a house cleaner is donating some of her earnings. Another man repaired the steps to her home. We have a link to that GoFundMe on fox5atlanta.com and Fox Local. Reporting live in Cherokee County, Denise Stillen, Fox 5 News.
So glad to hear she's getting the support she needs. Denise, thanks.
Yo, so much stuff, man. So much going on. Okay, let's see what these CNN is talking about the White House shit, man. Let's go. Let's see.
It is sort of this uniquely American moment that we have a violent act with a gun, with a person who's clearly deranged. Then there's the partisan finger pointing. And now we're kind of back where we always are. I mean, is it fair to take this incident, say that it's the Democrats' fault, and if you're a Republican, never question or criticize President Trump for his rhetoric?
Abby, I think that political rhetoric has gotten too coarse across the board. I think that today in America, I think there's just simply too much vitriol that's exchanged. But I do think it's reality that there's been 3 assassination attempts on this president's life in the last 2 years. And I think that there has been a heightened amount of rhetoric that's been coming out of the left in recent days. And so I think it is appropriate for us to ask everybody to begin to bring the coarseness down.
Look, I certainly agree with Mark on this, but we also have to keep in mind that the president of the United States has been using very divisive rhetoric for a long time. But I I'm hoping that we can have a reset here. I mean, it is bad on both sides. Everyone needs to chill and realize that there is more that unites us in this country than divides us. I was very happy to see President Trump on Saturday evening when he gave a press conference strike a very conciliatory tone. I'm hoping that will continue. It feels like some of his surrogates today have been on TV very on message in a way that is not helpful. But both sides just need to come together and realize the more divisive rhetoric that comes out of the left and the right, the more people are going to be in danger.
But it's not just rhetoric, it's actually policies. We have a president who likes conspicuous cruelty. We saw it in how ICE was operating on the streets. It is why he wants to bring back Alcatraz.
We saw a president who likes conspicuous cruelty. And you like getting fucked in the ass. Okay? Since you want to go there, you like getting fucked in the ass by white dudes. I'm tired of these gay dudes on here talking all this shit, man. You like getting fucked in the ass by white dudes. And his name is Charles Blow. You probably just got fucked in the ass before you came on. So I can't take you serious. You sweet as pumpkin pie. Oh, he says he got sexually abused. Okay. He identifies as bisexual. Okay, so he got sexually abused. Okay. Because you talk about a man who just got killed. I mean, a man who just had an attempt on his life. He's sitting there talking about a man who just had an attempt on his life. And you going, first thing you gonna say about him is some shit like that? After he just had an attempt on his life? These liberals are sick, man. Oh man, I hope he's okay, man. I wonder how it must be stressful having 3 attempts on your life, and that's you know what I mean? Like somebody tried to kill you 3 times in 2 years. You know, what about his bravery for standing up and never backing down and never being afraid, not hiding and shit? This faggot came out and said this shit after a dude just got a 3rd assassination attempt on his life.
But it's not just rhetoric, it's actually policies. We have a president who likes conspicuous cruelty. We saw it in how ICE was operating on the streets. It is why he wants to bring back Alcatraz. It is why he wants to bring back firing squads. It is why he was delighted with his visit to Alligator Alcatraz. And in fact, when a reporter asked him before he traveled to Florida, what was the...
They don't have any compassion, man. Man just got a 3rd attempt on his life. And y'all talking shit about him like this. A bunch of faggots. Not even like gangsters, but faggot dudes.
It's Pride Month, and this year many older members of the LGBTQ community are sharing their stories of coming out later in life. A new ABC News Studios special called Late to the Party features people who were not out for decades sharing their personal truths about when they did come out in their 40s and beyond.
I came out when I was 40.
I came out at the age of 47.
And I came out at 45.
I am in the process of coming out at 52.
All around the country, people in mid to late life are coming out of the closet.
I was in the military for 29 years. For me, being gay was not an option.
I was just hiding so many things. I just realized it's time to say something.
Best-selling author and former New York Times columnist Charles Blow traveled the country to meet some of these everyday older Americans. He joins me now to preview tonight's special. Charles, thanks for being with us. It looks great. And I guess you have a kind of a personal stake in this, right? You came out in your own 40s?
That is correct. When I wrote a memoir, I included those facts in my memoir. It was really important to me to do that. Wasn't thinking that was going to have any sort of impact on other people who were.
Yeah, man, I don't want to. I'm just saying, I know I'm not going to make y'all watch the whole thing, but he's a fucking fruit cup, man. Trump is a real man. Trump hasn't even complained about this shit. Trump hasn't even complained about the 3 attempts on his life. He just keep waking up every day and doing his job. He keep going to rallies. He keep appearing places, going to games and shit. He's still highly visible with all these people trying to kill him. And you got some fucking faggot who literally flosses with a dick. This nigga, when you know how you brush your teeth and you floss? This nigga flosses with a dick. This nigga flosses with a dick. Talking shit about the president. You ever had something stuck in your teeth and you get a toothpick? This nigga uses a dick when he got something stuck in his teeth, he uses a dick to get it out. You got a motherfucker piece of popcorn or something stuck in your tooth. You can't reach it, you get a little toothpick, get up in there. This nigga uses a dick. You're like, oh, excuse me, sir, I have some popcorn stuck in my teeth. Can I use your dick to get it out? We gotta, this is ridiculous, man. These motherfuckers talk so much shit and literally just sucked the dick 27 seconds ago. Literally. You ever see those? You ever see those things? Oh shit. You ever see those signs where it be days since the last accident? Days since the last time this nigga sucked the dick. 0. That should be 0. Every time is 0. He on here talking shit about a man who got 3 attempts on his life. Who taking fucking Iran to war and shit. Took Iran to war and shit. When everybody was scared for the last 50 years.
point to make sure that if they tried to get away, that they would be eaten by alligators. He says, we're going to teach them how to run. And they better not run in a straight line. They better run like this. That conspicuous cruelty and wanting to see that, and in his first administration saying that he wanted police officers to rough up people that they arrested before they even got into jail, got a trial, that lust for that is a whole other thing. We can't keep saying like, oh, it's just because people are talking. There are things that are happening that we are seeing, and that is a real thing, and that is contributing to a negative environment in this country.
Salute to Deluxe 247, aka Cal Ripken, aka the real MVP, coming through once again, man. Take that $5 challenge. Support the channel. Don't be afraid. Take the $5 challenge. Let's see if we get some people to get on the board. Sponsor the show. This is ridiculous, man.
Is it a both and? I mean, I think they're making the point. There is a lot of violence right now, but it is also true that President Trump is the most powerful megaphone, not to mention person, in this country. And he himself has a very...
You can't sit here and have Joe Biden say that Donald Trump, quote, is a clear and present danger to democracy, and then have surrogates
Is that
back
not
there.
true?
I mean, but he is.
The American people don't believe that. They elected him
Do
again.
you believe it?
I don't believe he's a clear and present danger to this country. I think he's a
I
savior
absolutely
for this country.
do. I absolutely
I
do.
believe that you
and
do.
I believe that
But
a
I
lot
think-
of Americans do
but
too.
I think-
and calling something what
Yeah,
it is.
but I think another dude's dick is the worst thing that I could see today. That's like a dream come true. If a dude pulled out his dick, I would punch him in his face. If a dude pulled out his dick in front of you, you would drop to your knees. So like, yeah, of course we see things differently. Right? Of course we see things differently. You know what I mean? Of course we're gonna see the world differently, Charles Blow. Like, let's just be honest. Like, this dude don't think straight, man. He don't think straight. He fantasized about getting fucked in the ass. Think about that. We got a guy here who fantasizes about getting fucked in the ass, trying to tell us right from wrong, left from right. His judgment is off. This guy's judgment is off, man. And I hate to be so graphic, but they're so mean. The LGBT community, they're so mean and mean-spirited. Always trying to read somebody or call somebody out or check somebody, or they just so mean, man. They're a bunch of mean girls. Him, Don Lemon, all of them. They're all mean. They're not nice people. Press 1. They're not nice people. Let's be honest. Faggots aren't nice, man. Faggots are mean, yo. They always got a bad attitude. They always want to go off on somebody. They're not good people.
it's not an incitement to violence.
It is for the people trying to kill Donald Trump.
No,
in the manifesto, it said that is why they were trying to kill Donald Trump. Read their words in their manifesto. They will tell you it is because of what you're saying.
It is a very easy thing for me to say that a violent person behaving violently is wrong. It is a very easy thing.
I'll give them the.
I'm sorry, I'll finish. And it is a very easy thing for me to say that political violence does not belong in our politics, and it is a sign. It is a sign of an unhealthy democracy. But I will never take lessons in civility from this president and this White House when they have engaged
in
the very same thing.
Attack and try to kill the president.
And conservatives did not want to connect Donald Trump's rhetoric to Charlottesville. They did not.
No, it was
Southern
Poverty Law Center that paid for that violence. By the way, we learned that last week.
I agree. They did not.
That was Southern Poverty Law Center.
They did not want to connect.
Look at it. They did not. They did not. He's like a woman. That's how women are. Whenever you try to tell them, whenever you try to say your side, they cut you off and start talking loud and over talking you. Like they can't stand this. They can't stand to hear that they might have been wrong. Women can't even hear. If they hear that they were wrong, they like melt, like the Wicked Witch of the West. He has the same tendencies as a woman. They would not. Abby does that too. She talks over people when she's proven wrong.
To January 6th and his rhetoric and all the things that he said around January 6th to that violence. They did not get upset with him when he pardoned all of the January 6th rioters. They did not.
Therefore, it is justifiable America to go kill the president of the United States of America.
What I'm trying to say, you should understand is that.
Look how he talks over the guy. He got a lot of woman tendencies, man. He's basically a chick, man. He's basically a chick, except like he's not a chick. He's so not a chick. But it's like the chick is in him. You know what I mean? I see the bitch in you. He's not a chick. That nigga got a muscle pussy. He ain't got a real pussy. He got a muscle. He got a shitty muscle pussy. Nigga, you got a shitty muscle pussy. Straight up.
Hypocrisy does not feel good to Americans, and they reject it.
Let me just say, Ben, nobody here has justified the attempts against President Trump's life or anybody's life.
There's new polling data that's out that say that there's about 20% of young Democrats in this country that think political violence is acceptable. Could that be because we have normalized demonizing the sitting president of the United States of America and calling him Adolf Hitler, or saying he's a threat to democracy, or saying that he's an evil man,
or saying called him Adolf Hitler.
Again, I go back. Did he take it back? Did he take it back?
Yes,
and
he
guess
got
what?
something
He
out of
realized,
it.
oh wait,
He
the
got
guy's not
something out
Adolf
of it.
Hitler,
He got
and I
something out of
actually
it.
like him. He
If
works with him.
if I would have a payoff out of it, I would take it back
This is
too.
why they will never
Exactly.
stop trying to kill Donald Trump, because there is no bullet that can be shot at him that somehow is not justified by the left saying, well, somehow it's Donald Trump's fault.
Well, look,
he's the one that said things in the past. They are going to try to kill him forever if y'all keep this up.
I will say this until I'm blue in the face. No one at this table
Nobody
has justified any violence
don't
against
mean
President
anything.
Trump.
Abby,
And so I think that
with all
making
due
those
respect,
generalizations, with all due respect, making those kinds of generalizations only coarsens the dialogue that we're trying to have. And look, if your argument
the
is
entire
that
table has been criticizing Trump after he got
if
shot
your
at.
argument is that the totality of the circumstances are simply what is being said about Donald Trump, that Donald Trump is a threat to democracy, whatever. Let me just play this. This is Caroline Levitt. She's accusing Democrats of what you're accusing them of, and then listen to the rest of this.
Senator Elizabeth Warren, President Trump is making the country look like a, quote, fascist state. Senator Adam Schiff saying President Trump using a dictator playbook. Senator Ed Markey calling President Trump a dictator, saying that this administration's actions are authoritarianism on steroids.
We're living in a fascist state. It all comes out of the White House. Crooked Joe Biden, the worst president in the history of our country. There's a radical left Marxist, communist, fascist. She's a Marxist. She's a fascist. Comrade Kamala Harris.
So look, the point is that it's not that Donald Trump is responsible for violence against those people. The point is that it's not enough to explain the moment that we are in. It's just, did he call her a fascist? Did she call him a fascist? Because that is happening on both sides of the debate. There is more that is contributing to where we are as a country, and it is bad. It is unquestionably bad. And if we fail to actually address the root causes, we are going nowhere.
I would say this. So if we want to bring the country together, since Donald Trump was actually shot, has he toned down his rhetoric or has he raised the rhetoric?
It has been.
It is definitely toned down from 2016 to 2020.
It has been 48 hours.
No, I said the first time when he was shot in the ear. Has his rhetoric gone up or down?
All right.
I agree with you. In 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20, he was way more in your face. You look at a guy that was shot at again the other night, and he went much calmer.
Look,
much calmer. And yet you still say, well, this is somehow Donald Trump's fault.
We have more on this topic because there's more on this topic. But to answer your question, has Donald Trump's behavior changed?
What should you say the other night differently?
This is to Juliet's point. It's not any one particular moment. It is
but I also think let's maybe if we could just sort of switch the conversation, just look going forward. And does anyone at this table believe that Trump can lead, because he is the leader of the United States, towards a less violent rhetoric?
In southeast Atlanta, where one person is dead and two others hurt after a shooting on Jonesboro Road. Thanks for joining us. I'm Courtney Bryant.
And I'm Ross Spencer. Police say it started as a dispute between several groups, but the victims were simply innocent bystanders. Fox 5's Tara Jabor joins us live now from Grady with the details. Tara?
Well, Russ and Courtney, two of those victims were taken here to Grady Hospital. They are expected to be okay. A 43-year-old woman died. Police say that they were all innocent bystanders.
Take a look at this surveillance video from Monday afternoon. You see several different groups of people in a parking lot behind a store called Little Bear along Jonesboro Road Southeast. Then you see everyone start to run as someone starts shooting. Police say one woman died on scene. Anthony Morton says he was in the parking lot hanging out with people. He saw the shooting happen right in front of him.
It was scary. It was really scary. I ain't never seen that in my life. That's what I'm saying. And I don't want nobody to see nothing like that. Somebody start spraying bullets and we got the ducking. You know, bullets start flying, you get the ducking.
Atlanta police say it happened just after noon. 3 people hit, all innocent bystanders.
It was an escalating dispute between known parties stemming from some kind of disrespect that happened out here. We're all just innocent victims standing by in the parking lot, and they're all in their mid to late 40s.
Police haven't released any information about a suspect. In this surveillance video, you see 2 people running away after the shooting. Morton says it's devastating to see the effects of gun violence.
And make it make sense. When innocent people get shot for nothing. What was the argument about? What was the confrontation about? Nothing.
And the shooting is still under investigation. If you have any information, contact the Atlanta Police Department. Reporting live in Atlanta, Tara Jabor, Fox 5 News.
All right, Tara.
Let's see if we get 10 people to take that challenge, take the $5 challenge. 10 people to get on the board, man. Let's see if we get 10 people to get on the board, man. We about to go crazy right now. We about to take it back to 79. We about to go ham in this motherfucker right now, man. People in the 80s look so fucked up, man. Why do people look such a mess in the 80s, man? Anybody know that? Why that is?
Bombardment of great tastes. Night shift at the block reports for work, but instead of hard hats and steel-toed boots, they wear feather boas and spiked heels. Pure illusion is the name of the game, an attempt to package sexuality, lipstick, rouge, and an enticing smile. While outside the dressing room, the sounds of the night begin to swell.
I'm ready. I'm all for the races.
Showtime now. Walk in, take a look. Showtime now.
Hey, yes, sir. Hey, you gotta walk in, take a look.
Showtime. Why don't you step inside here and see something good? Let me back. We'll walk on in.
An assault takes place on the block every night. Nobody really minds, though, since this attack is a sensory bombardment of great tastes, inviting aromas, exciting sounds, and fascinating sights. Tonight, we're going to go backstage, on stage, and inside the block to show you what it is today. The pulse of the block is its showgirls. They attract crowds night after night, men looking for a dream, and the appeal is timeless and ageless. Dancers on the block are like snowflakes. No two are the same. Yet when the spinning stops, they land on their feet for the same reason: money.
What was it that actually made you decide to become a dancer down here?
What made me decide? When I first came to Baltimore, I had a job as a barmaid during the day, and they didn't have any dancers, but they had them at night. And I ended up getting a little high one night, and they talked me into getting up on stage. And I found out how lucrative it was to be on stage as opposed to being behind the bar.
Laurie Lee, a dancer at the Villanova Club who's worked on the block for 5 years, dislikes the image the block has in some circles.
The assumption that every girl that works down here is of a reputation.
How do you respond to criticism, to people you might meet who say something insulting about your job down here, maybe call you names because they think the block is nothing but a lot of loose morals and drinking and loose women? How do you deal with that?
I don't value anybody's opinion of myself but my own. Mine is the only one that matters.
Other women on the block were not concerned about their image. This police raid last year closed down all massage parlors on the block. And though prostitution remains in the area, Police are there in visible numbers in an attempt to keep kids away and morals in place. Much of what we've seen so far has been the present formula for the block. Go-go girls going from makeup to nudity, backed by a blaring jukebox. But there's been a move toward a return to the golden age of the block. Her name is Lady Splendor, and she's a show all by herself.
From the Depression through disco, the 2 O'Clock Club has featured vaudeville, dance reviews, and exotic dancers. Harry Van Valen came here from Las Vegas to work with the remodeled club and to bring top-line shows back to Baltimore. What was burlesque then?
Oh, man. Everybody's that Michael Jackson film. Anybody seen that Michael Jackson film? Anybody seen that? Anybody seen that Michael Jackson film? Oh man.
Jesus Christ. Let's move back, okay? Okay. All right.
If you too young to remember, he got burned up making a Pepsi commercial.
We'll stay back, guys. Stand back. Back Let's move back. Jesus Christ. Let's move back, okay? Okay. All right.
That's crazy, man.
Him while filming a commercial. He was working with some explosive devices and also smoke, and a mishap occurred. He sustained a burn, which is about the size of your palm, to the back of his head. He was initially transferred to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, where he was examined, and we transferred him to Brotman Medical Center burn unit. He's in stable and good condition at this time. He is having some discomfort. He will be hospitalized for a period of approximately 24 to 48 hours for observation. The burn is second and a small area of third degree, and he will be receiving care and treatment here.
Any sort of permanent damage?
I don't believe so. It's within the hair-bearing area. If there is a third-degree burn, it may require surgery, although I don't think so at this time.
What's his mood through all of this?
Well, he was quite shocked initially at the time. He's recovering now. It's been a few hours since the injury, and he's resting comfortably, taking liquids.
Could you give us on your own head exactly where that palm-sized burn is?
Yeah, it occurred right in this area here, and fortunately occurred to the back of his head. He had no injuries to his face and is generally in good condition at this time.
How much pain is he in?
He was having a sufficient amount of pain to require analgesics at Cedars-Sinai Hospital.
And will that continue?
Yes, it will. He will be given pain medication throughout the night.
How serious? What could have happened here? How serious was this accident in terms of?
Well, any burn is serious, of course. He could have had much more serious injuries to his face, and fortunately, the explosion occurred behind his head. And he stated that he fell to the floor, and numerous people in the audience came to try and put the fire out.
In your opinion, sir, how long will it be before his hair is restored? Will it be bald back there?
He'll have a small area that will be bald. It would take a period of actually several weeks to several months before all the hair grows back again. There may be a small area that won't grow back, but he can camouflage this very easily with his surrounding hair.
How did you come to the case, sir?
I was asked to see Michael.
Have you treated him before?
Yes, I have.
Have you performed plastic surgery?
That's confidential.
Do you know yet if skin grafts might be needed? Is that
I don't believe so at this point. No.
How large an area has third-degree burns?
It's a very small area, possibly an area about the size of a quarter. What he stated was one of the pyro bombs that comes out of a small tube and explodes about 8 feet in the air. And there was a time, to my understanding, he fell to the floor, and several surrounding work people and some of the audience came up and put it out, and they immediately applied ice to the area.
Which of his family members are here?
Almost his entire family is here.
Sir, is this going to be the last statement you'll make this evening, and when can we expect one in the morning for our planning purposes?
Probably on a daily basis, I would imagine.
I'm sorry, say that again, please.
Probably on a daily basis, or as necessary.
Expect it will be more likely 24 or more likely 48 hours?
I think more likely 24 hours, unless his condition changes. He'll be hospitalized as long as we feel it's necessary.
So what is the kind of treatment that you are treating Michael Jackson with?
Well, initially ice applications. He has received a complete physical examination. There will be laboratory tests. He's received an X-ray.
Boy, oh boy, Mike was a big deal, man. Michael Jackson was a big deal back then, man. Mike was a big deal.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmony of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea.
I have a prepared statement from the Afro-American and other third world students on the occupation of New Africa House.
There was a time when many college campuses were teeming cauldrons of unrest and protest. In the minds of many, academic freedom had run amok. There were calls to end the war in Vietnam and fight a war against poverty, disease, and discrimination here in America. College leaders were called on to act affirmatively and increase black presence on their campuses. There was an increase, but there is still protest.
Personally, I'm tired of teaching white people how to treat me. Treat me like you would treat another person. That's how I feel. You know, I want to be treated.
Yo, some things never change, man. Some things never change. I bet a white person ain't never did a motherfucking thing to her in her fucking life. Press 1. I bet a white person ain't even fucking rolled their eyes at her before.
Like the same other person who paid their bill alongside me.
The American college campus is a wonderful place to be. It is idyllic, beautiful, congenial. However, many African American students complain bitterly about racism on the college campus. They talk about discrimination, and yes, in some instances, they talk about segregation on the college campus. This is a different story. This is a story of the experience of the African American student in the classroom. It's a story about terrorism. Terrorism on the mind.
I took a history course last semester, and when you're a freshman, more than often, your schedule is made for you. And I went into this class, it was an 8:30 class, and I get in there, and there's this person, this professor, who's an older person, and all through the class, you know, she seemed okay, you know, at 8:30 in the morning a person can get. But she seemed all right. And then we started talking about it was the class U.S. history since the Reconstruction. So I knew we were going to touch on slavery and you know, go into what else Black people had to do. She had nothing to say about any experiments or any inventions that Black people have done or anything like that. Her big thing was, you know, we're going to talk about slavery today. And she'd look right in my face. And there was
Black in the class?
No, there was 3 people of color.
That was your biggest contribution, though, man. That was your biggest contribution to America, slave labor, man. You niggas ain't invent nothing, man. Stop playing, man. You niggas ain't invent nothing. You niggas didn't invent nothing. We gotta stop this shit. Once black people deal with the fact that they ain't never invented shit, then we can actually invent something. We can get better. But we keep thinking about this glorious past that never existed. And it holds us back because we don't feel like we gotta work hard to achieve something. We feel like, oh, but we already did it. We the first people. We used to run the world. Da 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 da. We used to run the world. We used to have all of the invented everything. So we already feel like we done something. We resting on our laurels, and we ain't got no laurels.
In the class, and we kind of sat together, well, sort of. And she said, I don't want to offend anyone. Why do professors do that? Because the whole class turns and looks at you like, uh-oh, what are they gonna do now? And my biggest problem was I had to do a paper. She told you what the paper was on. Everyone had to do the same thing. I got the paper back and it was not an acceptable grade. I felt as though I deserved a much better grade. Over the years, my writing skills have been excellent, and I've had teachers tell me this. And so I went to her office and I asked her, I don't understand how you came about this grade. Can we talk about this? She said, okay, fine. And the first thing that comes out of her mouth is, are you from the Boston school system? My first instinct was, no, I'm not. I'm from Worcester. I graduated from Southside Community School, which I'm very proud of. The reason I got so upset about that first comment was because there are a lot of negative connotations that go along with the Boston school system. And I felt as though because I was a person of color and I received a low grade, I automatically was from this low degrading school system. And then I said, no.
Oh my God. I'll give this sister this. She speaks better than 99% of sisters today. Press one. 99% of sisters, regardless of education, she speaks better than them. But my God, it's the same shit. It's the same shit. It's the same shit, the same logic, just a better speaker. Just a better speaker. Same logic, same buzzwords, same talk. Whatever I do for you, stand out on all the rest. Wherever I go, whatever I do on the rest. Damn. I'm telling you, man. Man, I mean, we didn't have the internet back then, but we sure had a lot of fucking documentaries, man. We sure had a lot of documentaries. No social media, but a hell of a lot of documentaries, man. Whatever I do for you. What's nothing less than the best. Salute to everybody. Everybody hit that like button for me, man. Hit that like button for me, man. Man, you niggas, boy. I swear. I swear.
Broke out at a restaurant along the peninsula over the weekend. 5 people were hurt as a result of a stabbing, and several suspects were arrested. Our crime reporter Henry Lee is live at the scene near Redwood City with the very latest on this. Henry?
Claudine, we're along busy El Camino Real in the North Fair Oaks neighborhood, where people who live and work here say they're stunned by what happened. Snippets of yellow police tape still visible behind a Mexican bar and restaurant near Redwood City, where 5 people were hurt and 3 men were arrested after stabbing over the weekend. The violence and sheer number of victims alarming many in the North Fair Oaks neighborhood.
Even if you didn't like the person, still, there's no reason to do that. I can't believe it. I'm in shock, to be honest with you.
It happened at Morisco's El San Ignacense on El Camino Real just before 2 early Sunday morning. The San Mateo County Sheriff's Office, which patrols the neighborhood, says a fight broke out, but what led up to it is unclear. The dispute spilled out into the parking lot behind the restaurant. 3 suspects attacked 5 victims with glass shards and other objects. Deputies arrived and found 3 victims suffering from lacerations and puncture wounds at the scene. The other 2 victims ended up at hospitals on their own. All are expected to survive. The 3 suspects were found nearby and arrested on suspicion of assault. Frank Hernandez lives nearby and says he can't grasp what led to so many people getting hurt.
Can't believe it. It seems like this world is really coming to an end. What goes through the mind of a person to make them do that? It's like, it's unbelievable. It's like, why?
Jeremiah Ahofono lives nearby.
I heard a lot of people yelling, but I just thought it was the neighbors just being crazy. I always hear music coming from that restaurant. So I know they have parties late at night.
We are concerned. I mean, obviously it's a restaurant and they have parties sometime.
Hagap Toyan owns a lock and hardware shop nearby and noted the restaurant prides itself for its vibrant nightlife. He says crime in the immediate area is fairly uncommon.
There used to be more homeless people, but they're not hurtful. I mean, they were just homeless and walking around. And other than that, I mean, we didn't have any incidents like this. It's the first time.
Now, a worker at the restaurant declined to comment today, saying her boss won't be in until tomorrow. I've learned that all 3 suspects have since posted bail. The San Mateo County DA's office will review the case to determine whether they will formally face charges. Live near Redwood City, Henry Lee, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
Speechless. Lee is speechless, man.
And we're following breaking news tonight. Frightening moments on a subway train in Queens when gunfire erupts.
Here's what we know. A teenager is seriously injured in all of it. Eyewitness News reporter Sonia Rincon live at the scene in Ozone Park with the breaking information tonight. Sonia.
Yeah, Mike, the gunfire during the evening commute sent passengers ducking to the floor of the A train. It pulled into this station here at 80th Street and was here for hours. It was just cleared to leave. We heard from an eyewitness who was on that train who described what it was like when the doors opened.
This pandemonium, everybody just took off running, man. Including the two guys, the teenagers, they were fighting.
Scared passengers and the kids whose fight led to gunfire on board scattered. Tonight, police are looking for 2 young men or teens in the shooting of a 15-year-old on a Manhattan-bound A. It happened just after 6 o'clock. Junior White was 2 subway cars down and says his heart stopped when he heard the crackling.
We all jumped onto the floor and stayed below, you know, and the doorman opened the doors up, man, and some people ran out, man, but I stayed below, and some people say saw the guys who did it. And identify the police how they look.
Police scooped up the 15-year-old victim and took him in a police car to Jamaica Hospital. He'd been struck once in the chest.
I hope nobody else got hurt too. I hope nobody else got hurt.
It doesn't appear that anyone else was shot or hurt in the scramble. Tonight, detectives are trying to determine what the fight was about and whether the victim knew the shooter. The Queens District Attorney stopping by the scene as police collected evidence, including any video here at the 80th Street station and on the stop train.
Anytime there's a shooting on a train, it is a tragedy for the city of New York. And so we hope to get many more of these weapons off of the street and out of the hands of our young people.
And police tonight are still looking for the weapon that was used in this shooting and the young people who dangerously decided to bring it to a fight and use it on a moving train full of commuters. That young victim is at Jamaica Hospital in stable condition tonight. We're live in Ozone Park. Sonia Rincon, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
Wow.
There will be violence and profanity in this documentary. Parental discretion is advised. This is a documentary about real people and real events. Many of the voices you're about to hear belong to young people who will talk about crimes they have committed. For some of them, there have been multiple arrests and multiple convictions. Over the past 9 months, we asked them to show us how they live their lives. They agreed to cooperate and were aware that their voices and actions were being filmed and recorded for inclusion in this documentary. We sought out these young offenders to better understand why youth crime has increased so dramatically. We also sought to understand why the largest part of this crime increase was urban and lower class. Names have been withheld to protect our subjects. This program has been recommended by the National Education Association.
I've been hanging out on the street since I was 11. When I started hanging out at 11, I knew what to do when I was 12.
The street is a place where you become a man. The street to make you a man, if anything.
27th Street and 8th Avenue, right?
We hustle to stay alive.
Like when you got money, you got a lot of people with you. Ain't got money, ain't nobody with you.
You got that money, you know, people looking to give you that respect.
Slow down, baby. Slow down, baby. Slow down, baby. Yeah. Slow down, baby. Yeah. The stage of my age and get loose and
get a thrill out of it, breaking heads. Seeing all that blood and all that stuff. Hit it with a fork over the head. You know, bicycle fork, anything. You know, like certain guys like to stab, I like to break heads. Any bad thing you can think of, I've done. Ripping people off, mugging people. I got into that, burglarizing the stores out here. Oh, forget it. I tell you right now, I've cost this city tens of thousands of dollars. Vandalizing, ripping the schools off, hacksawing the parking meters. I tell you, I cost the city a lot of money. Son of a bitch, you're the one, right? Like I'm always out in the street. All summer, for about 3 or 4 summers outside in the streets. Like animals. Just like animal savages. With the boots, engineered boots, and the bandana, like pirates. It's the only thing we had going for ourselves. Like animals. We're raised up like animals, so we act like animals.
Show some heart here now, boy.
We just wanted to feel important, That's when we started the gang. Together, people could see, oh, well, we're going to feel good, Being recognized, Good feeling, feel important. I used to go on a rampage, grab 5 guys on the subway, take them all off, go back downstairs, take another guy off. And one night over $1,000, here's a guy, he's making a phone call, yoke him, strip him. We're dragging this guy in the middle of the night on the ice. His pants stuck onto his shoes, they won't come off, just dragging him down the block naked. In front of this thing. You say crime doesn't pay, let me tell you something, crime pays. Don't tell me crime don't pay, because it does. I've made $100 a day. Where the hell am I going to make that in the factory and these shit jobs they offer? All these shit jobs, you think we're going to go for the shit that our parents gone for? We're not going to go for these cheap jobs. If we don't get good jobs, crime is always going to exist. And they say crime, what about the big people like that, that commit all the big crimes? What about them? Huh? They're the real criminals. This guy does 10 years, but then this other guy, a politician, the big guy here, a couple of months and he's out of jail. What kind of shit is that? I mean, you think we're not aware of these things? Come on. And it just makes it worse. And until they do something about us, something for us, and give us a chance, this is going to continue on. It's not going to stop. It's just going to get worse. And you can get rid of me. There's going to be more to come, always. You're going to snuff, you got to eliminate all of us if you want this to stop. And you can't do that.
He said eliminate all of us if you want this to stop. Eliminate all of us.
You can't push us on the
if you want all of this to stop. Damn. That's crazy.
All right, developing tonight, the man accused of deliberately ramming his SUV into a police building is now facing multiple charges, and a judge has set a bail at $1.7 million. Our Jennifer Lee is back in Ronhurst tonight with what we're learning about this man.
PPD's 2nd District building remains boarded up after a car slammed right through the front doors. There were 6 individuals waiting inside the lobby, and now the man accused is facing several charges for each of those victims.
The video is shocking. The video is terrifying. And frankly, it almost looks miraculous that there's no one right in the immediate path.
Philadelphia District Attorney Larry Krasner says Dufour Jolie is now facing 6 counts of aggravated assault, among other charges, including risking catastrophe for allegedly crashing his Hyundai Tucson into PPD's 2nd District lobby. Krasner says Jolie has a Haitian passport. While he couldn't expand on a particular motive, the DA did provide a little more information about the domestic disturbance call on Tuesday when officers initially allegedly made contact with Jolie and his father 2 hours before the violent crash.
But there was mention of there being a dispute in relation to the sale of a car, and there was mention of possible return to Haiti. That much I can confirm.
In the disturbing video Fox 29 obtained, it shows 6 individuals somehow dodging serious injuries in the lobby, though police say 5 still had to be treated for minor injuries. Police say the 26-year-old is from the 2100 block of Glendale Avenue, which is only about a half-mile away from the 2nd District. Video from Queens Market Halal Food shows the Tucson slowing down. Police say Jolie waited for cars to pass by, then he intentionally rammed his car into the building. Shortly after, Jolie was taken into custody by police.
We understand how traumatic this was for civilians. We understand how traumatic this was for anyone in law enforcement who may have witnessed it or even heard the crash of this vehicle. This is not a vehicle that was moving at 5 miles an hour. It was coming through the front of this, the glass front of this new police district at a high rate of speed.
Krasner also tells us that Jolie did not have a prior arrest record here in Pennsylvania. A judge has set his bail at $1.7 million, and he also had to surrender his passport. He's due back in court again on May 11th. In Ronhurst, Jennifer Lee, Fox 29 News.
Well, days after posting a racist rant on social media, a Houston police officer is fired. The police chief calling her behavior entirely unacceptable.
Also, the mayor today speaking out. Megan Reyna with new reaction tonight.
Houston police say they acted as quickly as possible to fire now former officer Ashley Gonzalez, but they had to follow state law and give her due process. The police chief even adding in his statement, just like the community, he was deeply disturbed. The calls for termination answered. Ashley Gonzalez is no longer a Houston police officer. I hate. It comes just days after this video she posted on social media was shared by thousands online. Gonzalez is heard saying a racial slur at least 25 times. We're humans first! The community has been outraged. Protesters gathered throughout the morning outside police headquarters. Mayor John Whitmire writing in his statement following the news, quote, "Let this incident serve as a warning to all City of Houston employees. There is zero tolerance for racism in my administration, and if you see it, report it immediately."
Well, I've never seen anything fast-tracked this quickly, but I've never seen anything like this before either.
Retired Houston Police Captain Greg Freeman, who spent 34 years with the department and worked on the Internal Affairs Division, says Gonzalez does have the opportunity to appeal this decision, but he doesn't think that will go far.
I can't think of any legality of an arbitrator or civil service that would overturn this termination based on what we've seen.
Ashley Gonzalez. Gonzalez had been with the department since 2024. Prior to joining, she was with the Marines for 4 years. But even with this termination, Freeman says she still has her Texas Peace Officer certification. It's up to the Texas Commission on Law Enforcement to revoke it.
Is there a possibility she could be hired by another agency? Absolutely, there could be. What agency would do that? I don't know.
Well, this firing is what activists have been calling for. They still want to learn more about Ashley Gonzalez's time with the department. Just this afternoon, the Houston chapter of the NAACP released a statement asking for the department to release her arrest records. Meanwhile, we've reached out to the district attorney to see if they're looking into any cases she may have been involved with. We're still waiting to hear back. Reporting downtown, Megan Reyna, KHOU 11 News.
Maryland voters need to be informed about the candidates that are
Okay. Gotta pay that. Oh man.
A man now charged with murder after a 61-year-old Costco employee was tragically shot this weekend while just doing his job.
Our Catherine Huntley has details from the suspect's court appearance today, including his bizarre outbursts before the judge.
23-year-old Christian Bryant was visibly agitated and angry when hearing from a judge that he's been charged with murder following the shooting of an employee here at the Strongsville Costco. Now he's saying that it was actually provoked. Today, we are learning more about the tragic circumstances around the shooting that took the life of beloved employee, 61-year-old Randy Corrigan. Look how agitated 23-year-old Christian Bryant from Texas was in court today. Not only is he charged with murder, he is being held on a $5 million bond.
Damn.
911 calls tell the panic after Bryant allegedly shot 61-year-old Costco worker Randy Corrigan up to 8 times.
One of my employees got hit. Randy was hit with gunfire. Randy was hit with gunfire. Randy was hit. Randy told the guy to drop the gun, and the guy shot him.
Police responded to the shots fired call to find Corrigan on the ground outside the entrance. Bullet holes dotted the wall of the building. According to 911 calls and a police report, the shooter was still at the scene, saying the Costco employee pulled a knife on him. He continued to say that in court today.
This man approached me with a knife.
This weekend, a memorial began outside of Costco. A GoFundMe said Corrigan was the sole caregiver for his mother.
Wow.
He was a man neighbors said loved to drive Jeeps, and he would always help them in any way he could. Now, the man who allegedly shot him is facing life in prison if convicted of murder. The police report included heartbreaking details of the final moments of Corrigan's life. Police say he was able to be awake and answer questions for police. When they arrived to him after the shooting, however, he began to fade after being shot so many times. He later died at Metro Health. Today, a representative for the family said to a judge that they just want to see justice served. Bryant will next face a judge at the Cuyahoga County Court of Common Pleas.
Jesus Christ. That young dude just threw his whole fucking life away. Jesus Christ. Jeez.
More break-ins in the San Fernando Valley over the weekend. This is surveillance video from the most recent one in Burbank, and we're also learning about a home invasion in Panorama City.
All right, NBC4's Jonathan Gonzalez joins us live from Burbank. And Jonathan, this is what, more than 20 break-ins just in the past few weeks, huh?
Yeah, we're approaching 24 here, Michael, and it seems to be happening night after night. To your point, we did just get some new information on this case because unlike most of these cases, there were 3 people arrested here in this Burbank one that happened last night. We just got new information that they involve a man in his 30s and 2 men in their 20s, all from Azusa, all facing residential burglary charges. Meanwhile, the homeowner involved in this, the homeowner whose home was broken into last night, says he is grateful to his neighbor who saw something wrong and then called the police.
The burglaries across the San Fernando Valley continued over the weekend, this time in Burbank. The owner of this home on Scott Road, too afraid to talk to us on camera after his house was broken into Sunday night around 7:30. He gave us this surveillance video that shows 2 men running from Burbank police officers, jumping over his backyard fence onto a different property. The homeowner saying no one was home at the time, but he began watching his cameras when this person appeared at his door, pretending to be a food delivery driver. Moments later, that's when he says his neighbor across the street called 911 after they saw 3 men breaking into his house through a side window. Burbank police quickly responded, using canines to take the 3 men into custody. It's still unclear what the men may have taken, but it's the latest case in a recent string of home break-ins and break-in attempts in and around the valley this month. By our count, there have been at least 24 since April 10th. And just hours after the Burbank incident in Panorama City, a family was left terrified after they say at least 2 men broke into their home along Citrus Avenue. The father telling NBC4 he was in a bedroom with his daughters when he heard a noise from the other room. He said he called out to his wife only to hear a man respond. The father said the men threatened to shoot them if they left the room. He said the men ransacked the place and took off, leaving behind this crowbar, which the LAPD took as evidence.
The LAPD is also reviewing and investigating 3 other burglaries in the valley over the weekend, 2 in the Lake Balboa neighborhood and 1 in West Hills. Reporting in Burbank, I'm Jonathan Gonzalez, NBC4 News.
Man, great show, guys, man. We're going to come back tomorrow, man. I might even do a daytime show tomorrow. I mean, who knows, but great show. We're gonna, just nothing really. Didn't really have any idea. I just came on because salute for you guys, man. Thank you guys, man, for supporting the show tonight. Hitting the like button on the way out. See you tomorrow, man. Same black time, same black channel. I'm out of here.